Welcome back. You're watching Storyboard. High-end international shoe brand Brooks Sports, fondly known as Brooks Running, is opening stores in India starting from Mumbai. In fact, it is the first 100% subsidiary of Berkshire Hathaway, led and controlled by Warren Buffett, to enter India. The running and the performance wear market in the country is already very competitive, with the likes of Nike, Adidas, Asics, Puma and Reebok tapping into this market very aggressively. We caught up with Justin Dempsey-Chiam, Director of International Business Development at Brooks Sports INC, to understand what is going to be their investment and strategy for the country. Let's take a look at this chat. Justin, welcome to CNBC TV 18.
Thank you.
You know, you are a runner yourself, and you know that Indian running market is booming over the past couple of years. We see marathons happening practically every weekend. What is the potential that you see in India, and why did you think of entering India now?
Well, I would say first off, I had my first experience running in India this morning. I arrived late last night and then joined the BFit Running Club for about a 13K run around Juhu, and it was very hot and humid, but it was a lot of fun. You know, we view India as it is about the third largest running market in Asia, behind China and Japan. We estimate there's approximately 5 million runners, which puts it on par with a lot of Western markets in terms of the opportunity. And we see that, as you mentioned, with the growth in marathon races and participation in those races, we see the boom continuing. And so obviously, yeah, Brooks would like to, as a performance running brand, we would like to be able to involve ourselves with the Indian runner.
Okay, so you chose Mumbai for your first 4 stores, four flagship Brooks stores.
Correct.
Why Mumbai? Why not any other city in the country?
Well, I mean, we want to go to key economic hubs in any market that we start off in, and you'll see us. We're starting Mumbai, but we'll have 2 more by the end of the year in Bangalore, and then as we go into 2019, you'll see expansion across the rest of India.
So you are fairly a late entrant as far as the other brands is concerned. We already have, you know, some of the majors coming into India. We have Adidas and Nike present for so many years. We had Puma for so many years. We have Asics and so many new brands coming into the country. They are very aggressive, and they are aggressively tapping into the Indian market. So what exactly is going to be your strategy?
Well, first let me address the timing that you mentioned. So Brooks is a premium performance brand, and in order for us to be successful in a market, we need to have the right partner who understands how to basically go to market. And we feel like we found that in our distributor partner, Condify Sports. They understand that as a premium performance brand with basically nothing under $100 at retail, which is approximately 8,000 rupees, you know, we're a high touch and feel brand that needs to be introduced to the consumer or the runner in the right way. And one of the things I learned this morning, which I thought was very interesting, is the Indian runner is very discerning, and they are very focused on performance and what's going to keep them running faster, further, longer, and healthy. And we feel like we're making the best running product in the world, and so it's a perfect match with that Indian runner. In terms of how we're going to go to market, you know, our partner Condify Sports, they've targeted the key running events around India over the next calendar year. So, you know, Mumbai Marathon for the 42.2, the Delhi Half 21.1, the Bangalore 10K, and then in Kolkata. So we want to hit all of the distances in the key markets so that we're able to introduce our brand to runners in that way. Alongside that, we obviously have our retail distribution strategy, and then online we'll have Brooks available on brooksports.in, as well as an exclusive partnership with Amazon.
Okay. So tell us about your pricing strategy for the country, considering that Indians are very, very price sensitive. So how are you going to price your products?
I mean, our product pricing globally is pretty par to the dollar, just based on relative to currency. So, you know, a $100 shoe is going to be relatively equivalent in rupees or in yen or in Aussie dollars around the world. And so that's we're not differing from that strategy in India. I think what you're kind of referencing is whether or not the Indian consumer will accept 8,000 rupee and up product line. And I think that there is, as I said, I think we estimate there's approximately 5 million runners, not only that are avidly participating in the sport, but also have the economic means to invest in themselves and purchase 1 or 2 pairs of shoes a year to support their running habit. And absolutely, they're willing to spend that amount of money for the best product.
And of course, if you can afford such steep registration fee running all the races, you can definitely afford the shoes. You know, there's a marathon happening in India every weekend, practically every weekend. There's no such thing that we have something called as an off-season, because there are runs happening throughout the year. You mentioned you're going to associate yourself with and you have highlighted key marathons across the country. So do we see any big associations coming up in the coming days? Do we see you in Tata Mumbai Marathon in a big way, or let's say an Airtel Delhi half marathon in a big way? Well,
at the outset, we're not going to become like the flagship sponsor of any of these events, although last weekend we were the fitness sponsor of the Satara Half Marathon. But we will be present at the expos to be able to introduce our brand, get our products on runners, and be able to not only introduce our products, but also, so our ethos is our tagline is Run Happy. And so what that encompasses or embodies is we want to be the #1 choice for runners worldwide, and regardless of whether you're competing or completing. So, you know, whether you're at the front of the pack or just running your first half marathon and hoping to finish, Brooks, as all we do is the run. We want to be the running brand for the entire swath of people from start to finish.
So what is going to be your investment in the country over the next 1 year?
Over the next 1 year, as I mentioned, there's a huge investment going into the retail stores that will be opening. Obviously, the investment in the events and participating in those, and then there will be relatively robust kind of social media marketing. Condify Sports, our distributor partner, has hired a strong social agency to kind of connect us with the Indian runners and be able to have a dialogue and conversation with them. And then alongside of that, you have to have good content, and that involves having influencers, people that people want to hear from, and like yourself, in terms of what you're eating, how you're training, where you're racing, etc. And so our goal is to engage with some of the key influencers in the running community in India.
So sticking to social media and influencers, a lot of brands have, the bigger strategy for marketing for many of the sportswear brands in India has been seeding clothes and seeding shoes to most of the popular fitness influencers across the country. What is it that you are going to do differently?
Do differently? Well, we're absolutely going to seed product to influencers, because we feel like if someone tries our product after being in a different brand, they'll absolutely be a convert and be an evangelist for our brand. So we will absolutely do seeding. But I think also one of the unique things about Brooks is, as a relatively small company compared to some of the brands that you mentioned earlier, we offer kind of like a family business atmosphere, and the people that are the athletes and the influencers that are connected to our brand, I think, feel that, and that sets us apart. They are not just, I guess, another blogger that X brand wants to leverage. They're actually a part of the Brooks family, and that makes not only their kind of passion and commitment to us stronger, but also it makes them more genuine in terms of they're true fans of the product.
All right, all the best for that. Thank you so much. Thanks for speaking to us.
Okay, thank you.
Moving on, at 11 a.m. on September 6th, when a 5-judge Supreme Court bench struck down Section 377 of the IPC, digital teams of practically every brand went into overdrive. Twitter and Instagram were flooded with posts from brands supporting the judgment and flaunting all the colors of the rainbow. While some brands changed their logos to show the support, others cracked a witty line or two. We get you the work that we love to watch. Let's take a look. With that, it's a wrap on Storyboard this week. You can catch all of our content on Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. Thanks for watching and we'll be back same time next week. See you soon.